the $1 Million Mortgage Experience podcast. All right, excited to kick off this episode. It actually is episode 99, so we're one off from 100. And here with a special guest today, Adam Rutz. He's a Navy SEAL, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and a real estate expert. His latest venture is helping businesses embrace solar and renewable energy solutions. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Stoked to have you here. So just wanted to kick it off with talk a little bit about your story. I know, let's just even, let me ask this. Did you always want to be a Navy SEAL?
No, not at all.
As a kid, did you play with guns and stuff?
Nope. Never shot a gun. Never did anything. I thought the military was for losers. I thought military was for people who had no options in life. Truly at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got into a fight with my mom and she's like, you need to either move out or join the military. Well, I knew my mom loves me so unconditionally and I knew she didn't really want me to join the military. And so I said, I'm going to make you eat your words. So I went in the recruiter's office at 8 o'clock in the morning. He was late, but the door was unlocked and I went in there. And I said, I want to join the Navy. He said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't care. Show me where to sign, which is like a death wish, a death wish in the military. I could have been scrubbing toilets. I could have been scraping paint, you name it. Took me to LA to MEPS. We took our ASVAB, which is aptitude tests. And he's like, cool, you scored in this percentile. These are your options. And one of them was to be a fire controller. And he sold me on it because he said, that's the guy that presses the button on the ship to shoot the missiles. As long as you finish on top of your class. Right. I said, cool. Yeah, I could do that. And as we were driving back, and there's a big, out of shape, fat recruiter, I said, how's boot camp? And he goes, oh man, that shit's easy. And I was like, well, can I join the Marines? I want something harder. He goes, no, man, you just signed a contract to join the Navy. Shit. And I was like, well, is there anything harder? And he's like, yeah, there's SEAL, but you'll never make it.
Ooh.
And I was like, I don't know who this guy is. And I'll let you know, I was 190 pounds, 6'4", soaking wet,
yep,
skin and bone.
Thin dude. Yep.
All I did was surf, ride motocross. And I was like, what's a Navy SEAL? So I pulled up my phone and I was like, running, jumping out of planes, shooting guns and rucking for miles sound fun. United States Navy SEAL. I was like, I could get paid to shoot guns for a living. Never shot a gun, but that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, reached out to my buddies. I was like, hey, I want to try out this Navy SEAL thing. I knew they were into spec ops. Right. I just want to try it out. I want to try this thing out. He's like, well, come to this CrossFit gym. The owner's a SEAL. Come work out. And this was in 2009. In January of 2009. And so I went there. Could only do 2 pull-ups, 10 push-ups. And that's where it all began. Started working out all the time. And
did you meet the Navy SEAL, the owner? Or?
Yeah, I met him. He had the most limp handshake in the world. But now he's ended up being one of my best friends. And he's the one that actually pinned me, put the trident on me when I graduated.
Wow, that's cool. So we've all seen the movies, with the Navy SEALs and the training and the buds and, the guys that the ones that don't make it have to ring the bell and how it's oh man, it's such a dramatic thing. Is it as gnarly and hard as they make it look on the movies? Or is that dramatized?
At times it can be it's a little over dramatized, but I mean, it's one of the hardest trainings in the entire world. And it's not day one. Anybody can do day 1, day 2, day 3, but it's when you're going on day 4 and then you make it through the week and you have that weekend where you're able to relax. Mm-hmm. And what's coming up the next week, that really starts messing with your mind. It's that grind that gets you. You can wake up at 4 a.m. every day. That's fine. But knowing that you're going to have to be wet, be sandy, wet and sandy is when you go jump in the ocean with all your gear on and then roll around in the sand from head to toe, covered every inch, make yourself look like a sugar cookie. So, sometimes some people will quit in groups.
Really?
Yeah, they'll quit in groups. After a hot meal, they're like fuck this. I'm not going back out there. Yeah. They're looking around oh, he's going? Okay, I'm done.
And do you think those people were the ones that just didn't didn't know that they were Navy SEALs? Like they kind of just were trying it out, or do you think it was like they just couldn't handle it?
So I'll tell you just a couple characteristics of like a Navy SEAL. Like I've gone through in training, I've had professional athletes, swimmers, the fastest guys that are running. We do a 4-mile timed run. They're doing 24-minute 4 miles, like 6-minute miles, just hauling ass, everything like that. That guy quit on the first day. Wow. Jordan Vargas. And, I guess people who've had to struggle in their life before they got there are the people that normally make it at the end of the day. Like with me, and I don't know if I told you, I never knew my real dad. Mm-hmm. He passed away from HIV from doing heroin.
Wow.
Then my stepdad passed away on Father's Day in 2010 in a car accident. Murph, come here. Sit down.
For those of you listening, we've got Adam's dog, Murph, and he's a badass dog.
Named after Michael Murphy, the Lieutenant Michael Murphy.
Yep.
That passed away. So nothing ever came to me easy. I had to work twice as hard, just to be average. Just to be average.
So your mental strength was kind of already there. In
I guess
sense,
so. I understood what it meant. I knew what it meant to fail. Like
yeah.
I'd go till I fail, and then I just keep going and just try. And that's what it is in the SEAL training. It's the people that have struggled in their life that things didn't naturally come gifted. Now there are some gifted guys that are able just to. It still takes a toll, but buds will take a toll on every human, no matter what it was. But it's a person that just has that uncommon desire to succeed. And the SEAL ethos, the first line, a common man with an uncommon desire to succeed. Forged by adversity. Mm-hmm. Like we're forged by adversity, and that's how we've gotten to be where we're at. But yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So keep going on your story. So, like you got into be a Navy SEAL. I think you told me you never saw like true like war combat.
Yeah, no, never saw combat. And to be honest with you, that is it's in there for a long time. It was something embarrassed by, like, oh, you're a Navy SEAL, like this
what
and that.
Happened? Would
yeah,
you
like in that. And, sometimes you say, oh yeah, I saw some stuff around the country, like around the world. I mean, I've been around the world all over places, but I've also had some buddies that have really seen the shit, been in gnarly stuff, and I've seen what it takes on the mind and everything. And maybe it was good.
Yeah,
that I didn't see it. Maybe it was bad that I didn't. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we don't get to choose where we go. Right. The command dictates it, and there's actually quite a lot of SEALs that haven't seen any combat.
But they're ready. They're
we're ready. I mean, I lay down my life for any one of my brothers right now.
Yep.
I'm ready to answer my nation's call, like ready to go right now.
Are you on like some type of reserve thing, or is you're out?
I'm completely out.
You're completely out. Yep.
But if some were to pop off, I'd definitely maybe consider possibly going after it. I don't think my mom would like it very much.
Right. She's she's breathing a sigh of relief that you made it through. No problems. No.
When I told her I was joining the Navy, she thought, okay, he's gonna be safe. He's gonna be on a boat.
Right.
Then I told her I was gonna be a Navy SEAL, and then she lost it.
Yeah, I bet. So, definitely, like when I think of of course I say movies. I've seen all these movies with Navy SEAls. Like the terminal list, all these things, right? It's like very glorified in America. It's very respected. You guys are, a special group of people that, most people are like, God, I could never do that. I could never be that. Transition from that to tell us about how that went from that to being a realtor.
I had a buddy while I was in. I've always been the person that has like, I got a guy. I got a guy for you. I've always been that connecting person, networking with people and everything like that. And I referred over about 13 or 14 real estate deals to a buddy of mine. Mm-hmm. And he was just my real estate buddy, my drinking buddy. Like that was it. He wasn't in the military. He was just a cool guy, hung out with. And I referred over a whole bunch of deals. And he said, hey, I'm going to take you out to Cowboy Star, which is a steakhouse here in San Diego. Yep. Yeah. And he sat me down and he said, Adam, I just want to let you know, you saved my life. You saved my marriage. You saved my house.
Wow.
Thank you so much for referring all these deals. And he handed me a white envelope. I opened the envelope. I looked. And it was stacked with $40,000 in cash.
Jeez.
And I'm like, whoa, what is this? Is this legal? Like, what's going on? Like, do you need me to kill somebody? Like, what's happening? I haven't killed anybody, but like,
is this kind of how it goes down?
I could, okay. Wasn't expecting this way, but But truly at the end of the day, and he said, I think you should get into real estate. And I said, what is this real estate game? I thought it was a bunch of slime balls, which there's a lot of bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of cheesy. There's a lot of, like, you know, people are part-time real estate agents. It's not as respectable, I think, as, like, you know.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
As Navy SEAL or any, and I was just like, what is this? And so I was like, okay, I'm only getting paid $60,000 a year. And this guy gave me basically my whole entire Navy salary in cash.
Right.
And got my license in January. I sold like 9 homes.
In what time period?
5 months.
Wow.
First 5 months, couldn't even read a contract. Just slinging deals. Made a bunch of money. And then I was like, I'm out. I'm getting out of it. There's no war going on. There's nothing happening. And
what year was this?
This was 2018.
Got it.
Yeah, 2018. This was January 2018 when I got my license. And to let you know, like, when you're training to be a Navy SEAL, you're gone like 278 days out of the year.
Oh, I bet.
You're constantly gone doing training, let alone then you're on deployment. And so I was like, you know, I'd like to have a family. You know, I'd like to just settle down a little bit. I don't know if that really happened, but it was it was a wishful thought.
Right.
And then in June of 2018, so I got my license in January, sold a bunch of homes that I thought was a bunch of homes, made a bunch of money that I thought was a bunch of money.
Well, compared to a Navy salary,
I made over like $185,000 in like first 5 months.
Like a massive raise.
I was like, plus my Navy salary.
Right.
So I'm like, dude, I'm rich.
Yeah. And you're young and you're, you know.
Yeah. And then in June, I signed the contract saying I am not going to be re-enlisting. And from that day till I got out in December 2018, for that next 6 months, I didn't sell one home.
Not by choice, or you just
no, I couldn't get a real estate deal.
The market was.
I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what happened.
So you had a round of luck, you think?
Yeah, for the first... you know, just I was all hype on it, and then I got a little lax. Honestly, I got complacent. I'm like, this is easy, and then I realized, oh man, you actually have to put in some work. You got to make your calls. You got to be on a schedule, and I was just winging it. And so I freaked out and went into the fire academy.
Okay.
Pulled some strings out in the fire academy. And while I was in the fire academy, I sold 5 deals. And I said, okay, let me give this one full year and see what happens. And I've never looked back.
That's cool. So what kind of translated from your training, I guess, your Navy SEAL career, what translated into being a real estate agent? I mean, I know work ethic, obviously, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, but truly at the end of the day, you know, having discipline when you don't want to do something and you do it anyways. At the end of the day, like having that sort of discipline.
That's the definition, right? Of discipline, right? Is like nobody wants to go work out. Nobody wants to get up at 5 a.m. and do that. You know, it's like you just do it because you're disciplined, right?
Yeah. Showing up, and to be a good real estate agent, you really don't have to do a lot. You just show up.
Drink some tequila.
By the way, this is delicious.
Amor Indio Blanco. It's my favorite. Blanco.
You just got to show up on time. On time's 10 minutes early.
Yep.
On time's late. At the end of the day. Show up with a pen and paper. Do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
And that's it. Do what you say you're going to do. Show up on time and show up with something to write and take notes with. You're going to be a great real estate agent. You're already ahead of the game out of most real estate agents.
Just by doing that.
Just by doing that.
Right.
That most real estate agents, they run late. They don't have anything to write. It doesn't make them seem like their client, they're actually listening to their client.
They're not presentable.
No, absolutely not. No, like at all.
Right.
And then they don't do what they say. They say a bunch of things and they don't do it. Like if I say I'm going to give you an email, just give you an email.
Right.
I'm going to call you at this time. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You do that, you're going to do well in real estate.
Right.
Really at the end of the day.
So is it something you love doing, real estate? Or would you say it's more of like a good way to make money?
It's a freaking phenomenal way to make money if you're disciplined and you show up every day to work, because you're on your own time. You're on your own schedule. You got to make your own schedule.
Right.
But at the end of the day, for me, it's fun. It's the challenge. Love right now getting offers accepted. I just looked on the market. There's 1.38 million people in San Diego, 2,600 homes for sale.
Jeez. This is like the smallest amount of homes I think in a long time.
Just wrote 2 offers this week for the same client. Got both offers accepted, and we just had to decide which one we want to go take. Wow. I'm 100% written, offers accepted for the year.
Wow, that's cool.
But it's a fun challenge. It's fun negotiating. And it sounds corny, but actually it's not. Like, I truly love helping people at the end of the day. Actually,
I mean, it's a people business.
Yeah, it's a people business, connecting with people. I started something on Instagram called Make Someone's Day in the beginning of 2020, where I'd go on Instagram and I just make 3 people's day every day. Slide in my DM, let me know how I can make your day. Don't care what it is. I've helped somebody buy a car, paid a mortgage. I've done 3 Irish car bombs and breakdance in the middle of the street. I have sent flowers, Ubers, you name it. Then we raised $6,800 and went to Costco, bought $6,800 worth of snacks for nurses.
Wow.
And dropped them off. I delivered over 300 pizzas. Just make someone's day, make them smile. Just make somebody smile at the end of the day.
I love that. So funny. I had a idea for a thing called Make Your Day. And it was something similar like that. It's like where you would get, it was like a charity. You'd put, people would donate to it, and then you take that money and then you would put it on video, and you'd go like pay for someone's groceries in the grocery store.
Absolutely.
Pay their gas. And you get it on film so that someone could know what their money was going to.
Exactly. That is why all my, if you look at my Instagram on the safe, like highlights, people love to see where their money goes.
Yeah.
We raised $6,800. Average donation was $11. People love to see where it goes, and you realize like you open it up for people to do something good for people. Like you just open that as an avenue. Right. Honestly, I think you should do it.
Maybe I should. I think I had this idea like 10 years ago. It was like something
let's do it next week. Fucking send it. Like literally, like why not? Like
I love it.
Let's go on Instagram and just let's raise a couple $1,000s and just go make some.
And get Ryan to chase us around with the camera.
Literally, so that's it. Like honestly, like it's that simple, and you'd be surprised what people like. How happy? Like I went through pure joy, the most happiest I've ever seen anybody. Went to a store in Ramona, came out, there's Girl Scout cookies. And I said, how many bucks you got? Like, I don't know, like 200. I go, I'll buy them all. I bought them all. And they're like, okay, where's your car? I go, no. I just want you to hand them out to people that walk out that door. I swear to God, it looked like people won the lotto.
Free cookies?
Free Girl Scout cookies. Have you ever gotten a free box of Girl Scouts?
Never.
If you walk to the store and they're like, here, would you like a free box of Girl Thin Mints?
Of course.
I guarantee you they were telling people, somebody's like, yo, dear, hand out free Girl Scout cookies, posting on Instagram. Nobody know that I bought them all out, but it was just, that's what it was. And
that's amazing. I love that.
The funniest.
What did it cost you?
It cost me a couple $1,000s.
But still to make that
many they were happy? Stoked. Yeah, it was like $1,500, and I literally stood there for about 45 minutes and just watch as people jaws dropped.
That's amazing.
Like it was.
I mean, you know, like what are they, $12 a piece or $10?
Yeah, you just do something crazy. Just do something crazy for people. Just do something fun. Like literally just help people out. And
that's the thing about like you have the power.
And you don't have to be a superhero. Like you really don't. Like I could have bought 30 bucks. I could have bought 10 bucks and be like, hey, go ahead and do this. You don't have to go balls to the wall to do something.
Right.
I mean, in the SEAL word, like community, you know, moderation's for cowards. Anything worth doing, worth overdoing. Yeah. Never shoot a large caliber man with a small caliber bullet.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's powerful because like, you know, I never understood it, but like I always heard it's better to give than receive. All these things, right? Not until I had kids or maybe later in my life, I realized it's so much better to give a gift. Like I remember when I first made one of my biggest commissions in mortgages. It was coming up on Christmas, and my dad's a pastor, like I was telling you earlier. And my mom, they never, they've always had just enough money. They're never they were never rich or anything like that. Couldn't afford the extra things in life. They'd always save whatever money they had. They'd use it to travel because they love experiences. But I remember the first big commission I had, I went and bought them like the biggest TV I could afford, right? Yeah. Because my dad loves movies and stuff like that, and he always had like just an okay TV. And I was like, my dad needs the biggest TV. So I got a plasma back then when they first came out, and I was like so stoked to give it to him. But like giving is better than receiving. I think when you're a kid, you don't understand that because it's like you don't have ability to give. Really, you don't understand it. But to your point, that is so much joy, and the reason why I think I was laughing and smiling so big is because I know that feeling of giving, and it's like we need to do it more. Like, why can't we do it more?
100%. And I'll attribute it all to this. I told you I didn't know my real dad. Lost my stepdad on Father's Day. My mom was a single mom with 3 kids, a widow with 3 kids.
Wow.
at 36 years old. I'm 33. I can't even imagine having one kid right now. Okay, just to let you know,
Yeah.
let alone 3 by myself. My mom's one of the strongest person I know. We butt heads because she's a very strong personality. She had to be the mom, the dad, and the friend.
Right.
But my mom used to have to put cardboard in her heels, in her high heels at her foot to make sure that we had food on the table still.
Wow.
And I remember that to this day. And my mom gives everything to everyone. She carries the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she is an absolute angel. Like, she is an angel at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you.
That's molded who you are.
Yeah. So my mom had me with the first guy. Second guy, she had another kid and Dade. And by the way, I'm the smallest out of all my brothers. I'm 6'4", 245. Wow. My other brother's 6'9".
Jeez.
And then my other brother's 6'6".
Basketball players?
No, they're so uncoordinated. But my little brother, who's 6'6", who's 270, he's autistic.
Wow.
So I'll tell you how that happened. My mom met Mike. That was my stepdad who passed away on Father's Day. And Mike had a cousin who was homeless in Pomona, and she was schizophrenic. Well, in 1998, in February 1998, my mom got a call saying, hey, B had a child. You're the closest relative. Do you want the baby? If not, you're the closest relative. If not, we're going to put up for adoption. You have 2 hours to decide.
Wow.
Without hesitation, yeah, we'll take him.
Jeez.
We didn't have that much money.
Like, how?
Yeah, we'll take him. 2 years later, my dad passed away. Now my mom has myself and 3 boys. My mom meets this guy, Jeff, who she's married to now. He's an amazing guy, absolutely phenomenal guy. Jeff was a pro skater. He's been in a band. He raced motocross. He's like the rock, like guy's a man's man, badass dude at the end of the day. Well, Jeff has a sister. So my aunt had a stroke. And she had 2 kids. One was 18. He was already out of the house. And one that was 8, who was a daughter. My mom adopted the daughter in.
Jeez.
So now I have a little sister who's technically my cousin. And my mom just brings in people into the family. Our house is the house. All the family, our friends' family will come.
More the merrier.
Exactly. And like, she will make sure that everybody has a Christmas gift. Like, we'll have Christmas, like, not just a couple. Like, I'll tell her tomorrow, hey, you're coming to Christmas. You'll have 35 presents.
Wow.
I mean, I think she just has presents stored in her front closet. She's like, oh yeah, this will be good.
Like opens
Here you go.
A door, they all fall out.
I swear to God, I'm telling you right now, let's see if I
They're
have this
already
thing.
wrapped.
Yo, I got to show you this picture. Honestly, at the end of the day, like this is what our house looks like on Christmas morning. Every single morning since I could remember. Here it is.
Jeez. It's a lot of presents. She does a great job decorating the tree too.
Oh,
Does
she
do it all?
she hires us.
You guys, especially the tall one, putting it on the.
I'm the short one. I give it to my other brother. But yeah, so my mom's an absolute angel. So when you talk about giving and everything like that, and just like, I attribute everything of who I am to my mom.
How important is it for closing gifts?
Closing gifts for clients.
Yes.
It's probably one of the most important things ever because so many people miss the mark on that. It's such a good mark to be able to. It's such a
missed opportunity, right?
It's an opportunity for you to really connect with them on a better level. Give them a custom gift. We in our business, we have a thing called an All About You form that we give all of our clients and our referring partners. And you can make it off Woofu, and it has like their name, their birthday, anniversary on there. And I mean, I put in my calendar your birthday, your half birthday. I put in your anniversary, and then I put 3 days before your anniversary to call you and remind you that your anniversary is in 3 days.
And that probably is very helpful for a lot of men out there because
I don't just sell real estate. I also save marriages.
One of my friends is like, I was with my wife one night at dinner. We both realized it was our anniversary. We didn't even know, but the wife knew.
Oh, she knew.
Oh, she knew. But the man was like, oh, it's our anniversary today. Oh, and she probably acted surprised too, just so she wouldn't make him embarrassed or whatever.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, it's important for women for sure.
Oh, 100%.
And some men, not
some men, little beta men maybe, but
but the women really do. They really do.
Absolutely. And
so that's huge that you did that.
And then we have like their favorite restaurant and adult beverage. And when we tell them to fill out this form, we say, hey, shoot for the stars. If you like Scotch, put Macallan Rare Cask on there.
Right.
Put a $300 bottle of Scotch.
Why do you got to talk about Scotch, James? I'm a tequila guy.
Oh, sorry. But truly at the end of the day, for that closing gift, do a custom gift.
Right.
I had a pro skater who I sold a home to. I got him a skateboard deck that said sold.
Nice.
And I autographed my name on it, and it's in his skateboard museum.
That's rad.
Or like,
but that's like custom.
Don't give a generic branding gift. Don't give a thermos. Don't give that. Everybody else is doing that.
Right.
If you want to be successful, do what if everybody else isn't making millions of dollars every year. Right. Everyone else isn't doing 50 transactions a year. Everyone else is doing 6 to 8 deals a year. Don't do what everybody else is doing.
Separate yourself from what the pack's doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to, right?
If you're going on Instagram, don't be like, hey, we're at a 3-2, 1,500 square foot house on Instagram. Nobody cares. Right. Unless it has like sharks in the pool.
Right.
Like, other than that, nobody cares about your open house.
I love that. There's an Instagram page. I think it has like all houses that have, or what's interesting about your house. Have you seen that? Like, it's like I think it's a thing that people are doing, like, I guess a trend, like a social media trend where it's like, what's interesting about your home? And then they go in, there's like this island slides over and it opens up, and then they have like a game room down there below with like pool tables.
But that's cool. Like that, right. Go ahead, highlight that. But if there's nothing cool in the house, nobody else, just talk about how lucky you are about your clients. Right. Like for them to trust you and that you love, like do a different angle on it. Nobody cares about a 3-2, 1,500 square foot house in the middle of Mesa. Right.
Exactly. I mean, make it special. Do something special about it. What about self-employed borrowers? Like our business here, our brokers that usually watch this podcast are, doing non-QM, things like that. A lot of that is entrepreneurs, self-employed business owners. We use bank statements to qualify. Like what's your experience with doing like non-QM, or like at least having a non-QM lender in your
you have as many tools in your toolbox as possible. Right. To be a great agent, to run a good real estate business, you need to have as many tools in your toolbox as possible. And you need to have like a non-QM lender, that bank statement lender that can do it, that answers their phone, that can make it happen, that you have a good relationship with, that will look for the yes and the C's and no. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, like you guys have some leniency on how you guys can do stuff. Mm-hmm. So get somebody who's willing to take a little bit of risk. Maybe they have a couple investors that are like, hey, like we'll be a little bit looser. Like know who your lenders are at the end of the day, because they're going to save your ass. Yeah. They're really going to save your ass.
So like, for instance, if a mortgage broker is trying to get in with a realtor like you, who, like what would be their approach? What's like a good approach for like, I know the worst approach, we all know that, is like, hey, do you have any buyers that you want to give me? Right? That's a terrible approach. You're usually going to go, I got my guy, I got my girl, like I'm good. But like, what would be like a way for someone to kind of break into your network?
So this is two ways. This is two-part, and it's funny you asked that. Yeah. The number one way to set a meeting with a realtor.
The number one way to set a meeting with a realtor. Go.
Simply call them. You're like, hey, Adam, what's happening? This is Mark over at FundLoans. Like, just want to let you know, I don't have a go-to real estate agent that I can send business to. Do you think maybe you and I can sit down for coffee to see if we're a good match, or maybe I can send you some business? Boom. Nobody's going to say no. Right. Even if you want to get a meeting with an attorney, if you're a real estate agent, you want to get, or like a mortgage broker, with a divorce attorney. Hey, I don't have a go-to divorce attorney that I can send business to. Do you think you have 15 minutes where we can sit down and see if we're a good match, so I could possibly send you some business? So what you're doing right there is that you're not overcommitting, saying that you have somebody. Right. But you're still keeping your self-worth by saying, hey, let's see if we're a good match. Yep. Like say, hey, I need someone that's going to take as good care of my clients as I take care of my clients. Can we see if we're a good match with each other? I love it. And then when you get in that meeting with that real estate agent, you just asked, what Dale Carnegie said the best, to be interesting, you have to be interested. Right. Love that quote. Like truly at the end of the day, you have to be interested in that real estate agent. Right. Ask them questions. Ask them questions. Hey, where are you from? What have you been doing? Like, right. How did you get where you are today? Make it a podcast. Right. Literally, like I swear, like make it a coffee date podcast. I had this one attorney. I didn't ask. I maybe said 4 lines about me the whole time. Sat down with him for about an hour and a half. Yeah. By the end, he goes, "You're going to be my go-to agent." People love talking about themselves. If you haven't learned that yet as a person, I think that's number one. Like one of the things that I think I learned early on in my career was like,
people love talking about themselves. If you're talking and they're probably not listening. They're probably on the email, they're on the phone. So you have to have whoever I call it a target person that you're trying to get business, right? Your person that you're trying to do business with. You have to have them talking. You can't have them sitting there listening to you talk about yourself.
No,
that's the quickest
nobody cares.
way.
You're not going to get business that way.
Quickest way to lose out on a referral source. But if you're asking them questions like you just said,
ask them questions. Hey, what are your goals? Who's your target client? I mean, I believe I asked you that yesterday.
Yeah.
Did I not?
You did.
That's just natural to me. How can I provide value to this guy? Value is a very subjective thing. Maybe you can't really send him business.
Right.
But maybe
at least you're trying.
But maybe you connect, learn about him. Right. I mean, Ford or Frog, friends, recreation, occupation, goals. Mm-hmm. Have a conversation. That's it. I don't know what to ask. Ask them about their family. Ask them about what they like to do for fun. Ask them about their occupation. Like,
right.
Learn about them.
Yep.
And then be a part of it. Like maybe you don't have anything to like give them right then and there.
Yep.
But you can later on maybe, hey, so what advice would you give a lender, with working like with an agent? What do you look for in a lender? And how could I be your top three choice? What would I have to do to earn an opportunity?
Yep.
Just an opportunity, one opportunity.
Yep.
And see and shut up. Don't say anything.
Listen.
What do I got to do to earn an opportunity?
Yep.
Not, hey, would you be able to? Yeah. No, have them be specific. Then you follow up with them later saying, hey, I promise that I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then you keep to those promises.
Yeah. I think that in this business, the mortgage business, especially, and also real estate business, the best thing you can do is have a network of referrals. Like people that are going to send business to you and people that you like doing business with, because so many people go down the road of, going buying leads, or they get these
costs so much.
Yeah. But
it's not a fun way to do business.
It's not a fun way to do business. And it's also not the odds of you closing a deal from a lead, like an internet lead versus a referral, like a turn down, like a bank that couldn't do that loan, but then they can refer it to you. Your odds are like so much higher closing that deal,
Absolutely.
Or talking to a real estate agent who's like, hey, you'd be a great fit for this this client that I want to refer you. I mean,
I think what you're saying, like non-QM lenders and stuff like that, like if you're going to be going after like conventional lenders and stuff like that, like do some events with them. Do a co-branded real estate event.
Right.
Like you host the event. Literally, go to New Venture Escrow. New Venture Escrow down. Casey LeBlanc owns it. I don't know. Do you know Casey? He's a good friend of mine. They have a whole clubhouse. They have a golf simulator in there that they can put slides on.
That'd be so fun.
They have tequila. You need to get your tequila in there. Yeah. They have all sorts of alcohol, stocked fridge, everything like that. And they host events all the time. Literally go down to New Venture Escrow and talk to Courtney and be like, hey, I want to host an event and I want to bring a bunch of realtors in. Escrow wants realtors.
Yep.
Both lenders, they're not double dipping on each other because they have two different businesses.
Right.
But they can both provide value. Go get food $600, $500. Mm-hmm. And then go talk to all your escrow reps and have them invite all their agents. Now you just provided value to that lender.
Absolutely.
You open it up. Now, who do you think when they need a bank statement loan, who are they going to go to?
Absolutely.
That people want deals. Hey, give me agents to talk to. Open the door.
Yep.
If you filled a room with 25 real estate agents, 100% they will think of you.
Well, I have no doubt that if you had to start over tomorrow and start this business, you would have no problem getting business. Because the thing is like when you think outside the box like this and you think about how to get business and you just do it. So it's not just about having the ideas, because like what Gary Vaynerchuk says, ideas are shit.
Ideas are shit without execution.
Right. So you got to be able to execute. You got to be able to do it. And in your personality, where you have, you made it through the buds, you made it through SEAL, like to be where you are today, you had to have execution, right? So like being that kind of person, I think discipline is kind of really what creates success. And then doing all these things, right? So like you shifted from the SEALs to agent, to real estate agent. Now you're still an agent, but you're dabbling in, and you're going full blast. We haven't completely talked about this into renewables and solar, right? Like, so talk to us why you decided to kind of take on this venture and what is it about? Is it Elon Musk? Do you have a crush on Elon? Like, what's the...
We're going to blow Tesla out of the water. Let's say that.
Like, is Tesla really that
but
good?
I do have Elon Mark Zuckerberg all day.
Oh, on the fight.
Yeah, all day long.
I think Elon's going to kick his ass. He's like way bigger, right?
Yeah. I mean, he said his
And
move's the walrus.
Is he a boxer?
He said his move's the walrus. I'm just going to lay on him and crush him. That's literally what it is.
That's hilarious.
So, but yeah, let's see. Let's get a little tequila.
Okay, wait. So, you just drank the repo. What'd you think of the repo?
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can tell.
Like this went down so quick.
So this is the Añejo wine barrel series, and
this is what you were talking about. Is
yes.
this in the cab barrel?
This one particularly was aged in a French oak, Napa Valley, actually in a Pinot Noir barrel. Etude. Have you heard of Etude? The Pinot?
I have not.
It is. I'll give you a little bit more. But yeah, so this one was aged for 20 months. Phenomenal tequila. If you want this tequila, you got to go to wedrinktequila.com and
I just say
you're like, can I hold this bottle over here? No, but it's a special. It's in a wine bottle, and we designed the label.
This doesn't even taste like tequila.
It's just so.
This doesn't taste like. This isn't tequila, is it?
It's easy to drink. It's There's
no way this is tequila.
It's a 40 proof. 40% alcohol, 80 proof tequila. But it's aged for 20 months, so it's so smooth.
It doesn't taste. It tastes like juice.
There's no additives. It's cut
amazing.
Really well. So that I don't know how much you know about distillation.
Not a lot.
So the reason why some tequilas and alcohols taste bad is the distillation process. So
shorter.
They have these basic long cuts. So they basically shortcuts. So they kind of like when you say you took a shortcut and it screwed you up, but they won't. So when you start the distillation process, I'm not an expert, but I know that as evaporation starts happening, the beginning is terrible. It's kind of like a ethanol, like real alcohol-y, like moonshine, maybe nail polish, right? So if you're ever drinking an alcohol and you smell like nail polish, or you kind of have that really gnarly alcohol smell, like smell this. Tell me, how does it smell? There's not like a nail polish. There's no.
How you drink this?
Yeah, you can smell it all day long.
I got big old nostrils.
So like you have to let all that beginning part kind of it's waste. They don't keep it. They like throw it away or they use it later for another distillation. But so the heart of the distillation process is the middle. And so depending on how big that heart is, if you have a small heart, that means you're letting a lot of the beginning stuff go to waste and a lot of the tail, the end, go to waste. If you have like just a small heart, you have the purest, best tasting part of the process. And that's what this distillery does. And that's why when they put it in a barrel, you already have, so the Blanco, that you tasted the Blanco.
Yeah.
The Plata is phenomenal because it's the small heart. And then they take that same Plata and they put it in a barrel. It becomes the Reposado. And then the Añejo is what you got here. And that's aged for 20 months. So, you have an extra Añejo that's over usually 3 years aged. And our extra Añejo is 5-year aged. And you tasted that yesterday. Phenomenal, right?
They're all phenomenal. Like literally.
So We Drink Tequila, small little plug. Sorry, Ryan. I know this is the FundLoans podcast, but had to throw that in there because I love tequila and it's just a passion of mine. So I'm glad you like it too.
It's delicious.
It's so good, right?
Yeah.
Just like loans, I like to do the best we can in all that we do, right? Like when we do our loans, we like to be the best of the best. Like we always said that we're like the Four Seasons or Nordstrom of lending. I should now say we're like the Navy SEALs of lending because we're like the elite of lending. And with tequila, I like to have the best of the best, and that's kind of what we're all about.
Like I said, anything that's worth doing is worth overdoing. Moderation's for cowards.
I love it. Yeah. Why not? If you're going to do it the fucking best.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
And that's kind of, it's kind of just getting back to what you said.
Yeah, the renewable energy stuff.
Solar.
Yeah.
So how I got into even thinking about solar was I had a client that I sold a house to. And they're like, hey, do you know a good solar guy? I was referring him to, I referred him to one of my friends. And he gave me, a little referral feedback, whatnot. And then it started turning into, every house that I'd sell, I'd pitch them solar.
Yeah.
And what I realized, what it really came down to, it was when I referred my mom over to a solar company, and they completely hosed my mom. Solar system cost like $18,000. He made $22,000 off the deal.
I didn't even know how that's possible.
Because it's very easy to do that. You can price gouge. And what I found, and I was really pissed, and I realized in the solar industry across the board, there's no follow through. There's no follow up.
Well, I'm my solar system, as you know,
Yes.
I have no idea what's going on with it. I have no idea why I still have a bill.
You shouldn't have a bill.
I should have a bill.
How long have you had the house for?
7 years.
Yeah,
Since 2016.
You should have no bill. There should be no reason why you have a bill at all, especially.
They should be paying me.
No, seriously, it really should
Right?
be. It really should be at the end of the day. And then they overpromise, underdeliver.
Right.
And they'll overpromise on purpose. They'll say, hey, it'll take us 3 weeks. Go ahead and get your system installed. We know damn well that's not the case because the city isn't going to approve the permits.
Sure.
And they go, oh, sorry, whoops. And then they price gouge and they lack integrity.
Especially if you get like financing, like a what are those loans?
The hero loans or the PACE loans, those are, we don't even touch those. Those are the worst things in the world. We're not even going to talk about that because it's so bad.
Yeah.
It'll piss me off. Truly at the end
Plus
of the day.
it jacks up like the lending process too. If you got a hero loan on your title.
Screws it all.
Yeah.
So, I needed to find a company that aligned with my core values that I had with my real estate business.
Yep.
Expecting innovation, demanding discipline, serving with honor on and off the battlefield, in and out of work, someone that's going to represent the company, represent my name well. And I kept referring these deals over to a friend of mine, I should say. And I just kept making excuses for him with my clients. Oh, he's a buddy. Yeah, like he's really busy, like, because he was my friend.
Yeah.
And I realized I was just making excuses for somebody that didn't have a good system, that lacked integrity and everything of that nature. And so that's when I met Dave Bengal, the CEO of Apricot.
Got it.
And Dave, let's just tell you about Dave. Dave is a man of integrity. He's the first one in the office, last one to leave. Why? Because I will call him at 11:30 at night, and he's still in the freaking office.
Hustling.
Just working. I mean, we have over 14,000 affiliates right now throughout the entire country. And he doesn't have an ego. He leaves his ego at the door. And when I was looking for a company, I wanted a leader that I could follow. That was very similar to a SEAL team commander or something like that. A strong leader, did not have an ego, always but a hard worker at the end of the day.
Yep.
So sat down with him. I flew out to Vegas, sat down with him for like 15 hours, and we came up with the Apricot Partnership Program. And the Apricot Partnership Program is an easy-to-use platform that streamlines the referral process from home service providers such as HVAC company, roofer, plumber, electrician, real estate agent, and lender, and allows them to add a significant revenue stream to their business with no additional overhead.
Got it.
And it's split up into two parts. The front end and the back end. Front end allows you to track all the leads, add a lead easily, monitor all the communication between my sales rep and your client, as well as see how much commission you're getting paid. Because I didn't know even if my buddy was even paying me what he said he was going to be paying me at the end of the day.
Right.
And so it's a simple, easy dashboard. And then the back end has our white glove experience, our solar advisor integration, and then our follow-up plan. And the white glove experience, as I spoke about, I implemented what I was doing in real estate into our entire company as with the All About You form, which allows us to stay with our client and actually build a relationship with them instead of having to be a transactional basis, which a lot of the solar is. And then our solar advisor integration, there's a real simple thing, the triangle of trust. Jon, if I tell you how cool I am, I sound like a jackass.
Sure.
But if Kelly tells you how cool I am, maybe you'll have a meeting with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, our rep is going to know your business, Jon. Okay. And you're going to know our rep. At the end of the day, you're going to be on a first name basis, you have a cell phone. So when you go to your client, you're going to be like, hey, you got to go to Adam over at Apricot. They have the lowest pricing in the nation. Our installer that we use is Freedom Forever. And they're the third largest installer in the nation. And they give us wholesale owner pricing, which means we'll never be beat on pricing on a system.
That's great.
At all. And so like you got to use Adam. They're absolutely phenomenal. And it's very similar to a real estate lender relationship. Now, when we get your client, Jon, basically we're going to be like, oh, hey, Margaret, how do you know Jon? He's literally one of the best lenders in the business. You're so lucky. He's one of our favorite referral partners. Hey, you trust Jon, right? She's going to say yes. I say, I trust Jon. If you trust Jon and I trust Jon, you can trust me that we're going to take good care of you.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is just connecting the dots. Now, to some people, that sounds corny to begin with. But if you do it, in order to say that, you have to have complete confidence.
Yeah.
And with that confidence will lead to a 90% conversion rate, especially on a lender real estate agent side. I mean, I got it from that.
At the end of the day, people don't care. I mean, they want solar. They want to have that bill reduced or gone. They want to feel good about what they're doing with the environment, right? They want to have like, okay, I'm doing solar. It makes sense. They're financing it most of the time, or they're, if they have the money, they can pull it out do a cash out loan, pull out a little bit of cash to buy the solar. At the end of the day, like when I did my solar, I didn't go shop for a ton of different solar companies. No. I just was like, I need solar, and like I think I talked to 2 or 3 people because I always have this like rule of thumb is like when I shop for things, I want 3 different
absolutely
things.
And honestly, with solar, it says it in the agreement. You should be looking for three companies.
So like to price check or just
now a lot and we'll compare ourselves to anybody else. We'll crush them. And I think the main part of our business as well is that to our referring partner, we kick them back 50% of the sales commission.
That's cool.
Which is between.
And I saw your app. You can track it and you see it in there. Mm-hmm. And
which is between $4,000 to $7,000. $4,000 to $7,000. I have a mobile notary right now. He's pitching it. He's making $60,000 a month.
$60,000 a month.
I literally paid him $62,000 last month.
Mobile notary
for just referring us business.
Holy crap!
Referring. That is it.
I used to have a mobile notary company. I called it Notary Empire.
Well, like maybe you should restart this thing again.
I had big dreams for my Notary Empire, and I think it was like I forget what year it was, like 90. No, it's like 2002-ish, and I was like, I'm going to just do notaries, and I'm in the music business, so I was like, I'm just gonna do notaries and do my music business. I'm out of the mortgage business. The mortgage business, some people joke about it. It's like a curse. You can't get out. You can try.
Once you're in,
you're in.
You'll get out and you'll get sucked right back in.
Sucked right back in.
Like, 2008 happened. I took a little break and, now I'm back in here again.
Now I'm back and I'm doing this. But yeah, I did notaries for a while. And but that guy's stoked.
And honestly, all you got to do is get the client's bill and you upload it. You do 5% of the work and we do 90%. You make the introduction, we do the work, and you get paid. That's my little.
That's amazing.
Tagline.
Does Murph refer deals?
I take him door knocking.
Nice. Hey Murph, what's up, buddy?
So this dog right here, he goes with me everywhere. If you can't tell, I just showed up to our first meeting with the dog.
I know. This guy. He like took over our office. He was running around.
Oh yeah.
But he's lovable.
He hates leashes. I don't put him on a leash. He will not.
Do you ever get?
He won't walk.
Yeah, he's a beautiful dog.
Look at him. He's a good cat.
Good boy.
And he loves hunting.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I take him duck hunting, bird hunting.
Bird hunting.
I took him pig hunting. Well, I was in the blind and I shot a pig and he was a little pup, ran out, grabbed the pig's ear while the pig was kind of like dying. And I'm like, all right, Murph, down. Down.
That's good. He wants to chill with me. He smells the tequila.
Oh, he don't like alcohol. Come here. I think he's getting a little hot in here.
Hey, what do you think of? Let's talk about charities.
Back up.
Let's talk about charities. I know you're big on charities, so
the number one nonprofit that I work with is the SEAL Future Foundation. It helps SEALs transition from active duty to civilian life, and that's something that's very important to me.
Yep.
Especially with mental health, because in the SEAL teams you have this brotherhood.
Yep.
You have a community of people that you're with. And when you get out, you don't have anything. I've battled with depression, suicide. And it's something that, in the SEAL teams, you have a swim buddy.
Yep.
You don't go anywhere without a swim buddy. You always got a buddy.
Yep.
Watch your back, watch your six. And when you got the SEAL teams, you're by yourself because the work tempo is just going. Mm-hmm. And the SEAL Future Foundation gives you the swim buddy outside of the teams. Mm. And they get you involved in organizations, in events, and really like dials you in and helps you out financially. Whatever it might be, help you with scholarships, entrepreneurship. We have a huge network, but not anybody can just get in the network. Like you have to be referred in the network. They've turned down millions of dollars.
Wow.
Like, hey, sorry, you can't just buy your way into this community the same way as the SEAL teams. It's a vetted process for somebody like yourself to come in. you have to be referred in by somebody by SEAL that has a good name at the end of the day. And they're absolutely phenomenal. We'll do an annual shooting event in San Diego where we'll bring in all of our partners and new partners that would like to join and help out. Like if you wanted to mentor, they have a mentorship program. So if somebody wanted to get into loans or something of that nature, like you could
or just
mentor
to be
them.
an entrepreneur or something.
Yeah, or be an entrepreneur.
Right.
As people in all different fields. Bring them out. We do like a long range shoot. We do shoot some steel. We do a movie theatric like Stop the Bleeding, where we'll teach you guys how to do it. Put a tourniquet on and get a stretcher, and then we'll throw you with airsoft masks on with airsoft guns and have you patrol through the mountain.
Are you up against SEALs?
Yeah, and then you get contacted, and then somebody goes down. One of the SEALs goes down, and then you have to like put the tourniquet on with blood shooting out everywhere.
Oh wow!
And like still getting shot at, so you have to maintain security and get off the X and everything like that.
Wow!
And so, but yeah, it
sounds intense.
It's pretty fun.
That sounds cool.
I
want to do that. I want to do it.
Done easy,
man.
And then we do a couple galas where we raise a lot of money that really helps fund SEALs. Fun stuff such as like the Mission Within, which is they do like ibogaine, ayahuasca, the psychedelics. Yep. I mean, I'm sure you heard Aaron Rodgers talking a lot about it. Everything. They just had a psychedelic convention.
It's amazing how effective that stuff is.
It is.
And it's super controversial, or at least with the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah. But it's like, I mean, all I've heard about it is just success.
Yeah, I went down to Mexico. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. I didn't. They said, "Hey, Adam, we think you should go down and go do this." And I'm like, no, I was battling drug addiction. I was battling a lot of stuff, demons. Tried to commit suicide a couple of times. Man, made my ex-girlfriend's life absolutely hell. I will regret that for the rest of my life. Just put it through so much, and I need help. I need help at the end of the day, and went down there and did an ibogaine, which comes from the iboga tree. Yep. And that's supposed to help with
Is that from Africa or something?
Yep. Yep. It's like two
a root
places.
or something?
Yeah, it's like a root from this tree, and it was like a 16-hour trip. Now, because I was a habitual drug user, I didn't really have any like super crazy visions or anything like that, but it was dark. There's so much pressure on my body, and basically restarted my brain to where I didn't.
You just kind of quit cold turkey everything.
Yeah.
And wow.
It just restarted. It was as if there was a new layer of snow, and I got to make my own tracks.
Wow.
And it was.
What was like the days following that? Like the day 2, day 3, day 4? Was it kind of weird just being like, I don't want.
Yes. So there was. So we did ibogaine one day, okay, and then we had a self-reflection the next, and then we fasted that night for the next day, and then we did 5-MeO DMT from the Sonora Desert Toad, which is in hibernation for 9 months out of the year, and that's really where I saw a breakthrough on what it was. I was screaming, yelling, throwing up. I had like an eye mask on. I was losing it. Wow. And I associated that with as if you have a little kid and they come up to you and they grab you and they're hugging and they're crying and you're like, hey, it's okay, man, just let it out. Cry, let it all out. And when I was in there, I went in 4 times, which was about 80 minutes. Most people only do about 20. It was scary. It was not a pleasant experience. This is something I'm terrified to even think about doing it again. Wow.
Was it expensive, or is it just?
No, the foundation paid for it.
Oh wow.
They
That's
send down
cool
all these
that they're doing that, because they're recognizing that this is a need for PTSD, for just any kind
of. It helped out with my PTSD. It helped out with my drug use.
Wow.
It helped out with, my childhood loss, my father, watching my mom cry herself to sleep every night. Wow. All the pain. It lifted all it up. And when I came out of it, I cried for 45 minutes in my buddy's arms.
Jeez.
Of pure happiness. I haven't felt that sort of happiness.
Life changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
When was this? Like how long
This
ago?
was December 5th.
So like 6-7 months ago.
Yeah. And the days afterwards, you just kind of walked around Earth like, oh.
Like a new you.
Yeah, it was like, it was. And it was just like, hey, I even got the Sonora Desert Toad tattooed on my foot as if like I'm rooted
Yeah.
And that is like
it impacted you that much.
Absolutely 100%. And, there's a song that came on. I don't know the name of it. I just know it's on my Spotify. Every time it comes on, I just break down crying.
Jeez.
Just tears of joy.
So cool.
And it's like, the words are like, you are loved and you were cared for. And it's like, hey, no, I am loved. I am cared for. And it's, having that self-talk, because I lacked that for a long time.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah,
so you believe in it. You believe in this stuff. Like, I mean, there's people that
look. I'm not a hokey pokey guy.
No, but like there are people that only believe in the pharmaceutical industry and all that crap. Which that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down.
That's a whole nother series of podcasts.
Sponsored by Pfizer, right? Like, I mean, obviously this stuff is controversial. It's not like it's mainstream, right? But like But it works. There's a lot of people. I think
over in Washington, I even think they're working right now on getting some mushroom stuff legalized.
Right.
Honestly, I didn't read anything up on it. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I'm not a hokey pokey hippie. I make fun of everybody in Ocean Beach. Like I'm not into it. It's not my thing, but it changed my life.
It's amazing.
It changed my life.
Yeah, I mean, I for sure believe in like N80 plus. I've done that. It's all kinds of stuff that's out there that's not necessarily mainstream. That's just, it works,
Yeah, and whether it's that combined with action.
Yeah. You got to put in like for me, I think anyone that's got a type A personality that's super like charge has a tendency to maybe kind of like you said earlier. What's the statement? It's like anything not
anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Moderation's cowards.
Right. So whether it's drinking or drugs or sex or whatever it is, like you can kind of like overdo it in a sense and become an addict and all that. Like because part of your personality is to go, charge. But like I've just got into cold plunging, and I got the bougie cold plunge, right? But it gives me this euphoric feeling that is like an addictive feeling, but I feel so good after I do it. And I do it every freaking day, like ritual, right? I do my workout, then I do my sauna, and then I do the cold plunge, and then I shower.
I'm coming to your house.
Yeah, we're going to smoke cigars, and we're going to cold plunge for sure. You might not fit my cold plunge, though. You're tall. But yeah, we'll do it. It's gnarly. And some people I know who are super tough people will jump in the cold plunge and then be like, no, I can't do this. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it always blows my mind that like, some people who are not like super tough, you think in their head, like it's more of a mental thing. It's not like how ripped they are. Mental. It's not how like strong, necessarily physically strong they are. It's like, it's just what can you tell yourself to do?
If you don't mind, then it don't matter.
Right. You got to tell yourself to get in there. Just like, I do every morning. I have to be like, get in. And and it's like my body is under my command. It's not like I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like it's you have to be able to just mind over matter and just do it.
100%. I'll tell you the story about this girl named Eleni. I found this flyer on the ground in front of my office one day. It said the Baller Dream Foundation. It had like 3 kids on the back and what they wanted to be. I don't know what the hell this is. And I never pick up trash off the ground anyways. I'm not like anything, but something picked it up. I went on my computer, I found out what it was, and it was a nonprofit that helps kids up to the age of 29 make their dreams come true. Like Make-A-Wish. Yep. Make-A-Wish stops at 18, this stops at 29. And I went to the inquiry, and I was like, hey, like the little inquiry box, like no one ever freaking fills that out. But I was like, hey, my name's Adam Rutz, I'm a former Navy SEAL. If anybody ever wants to be a G.I. Joe, let me know.
Yeah.
2 days later, the founder of the organization gave me a call and flew out from Arizona.
Wow.
Frank DeBossi. And he told me how he battled with testicular cancer, and now he's won that, Frank. And he talked to me about it, and he talked to me about how much it costs to sponsor a kid. And I said, okay, I'll sponsor 2 kids. And one of them was this girl named Eleni, and this other one, Eduardo. And we made their dreams come true, and I'll tell you in a minute. But what she said and what Eduardo said, while they were battling cancer is like, just remember there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like it will stop. Yep. It will get better.
Yep.
Whatever that is, whether I go to heaven or whether I beat cancer,
yep.
It will be better. And so when you're doing these things, to take mental toughness, remember like it will get better.
Yeah.
It will get better.
It's just time.
Yeah. Just time. Stick it out, keep doing it. It will get better. This too shall end.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, and like, honestly, it made me like, I was like, hey, so like, Like, I'm a Navy SEAL. I've done all sorts. I've jumped out of planes, raced motocross. I've broken every bone in my body. I've done all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, you name it, I've done it. And I'm looking at this girl who was battling cancer. I'm like, yo, so, like, tell me about it. Like,
yeah. What is your dream?
How did this, like, you're possibly die?
Yeah. What was her dream? Or what was her?
So her dream, she wanted to go to Italy, and she wanted to go on a shopping trip, and she wanted to go prom and have all her makeup and hair done and everything like that. So for the Baller Dream events, what you do is that we'll give them 2 gifts, or we'll make their dream come true. And they don't know what it is, like, necessarily. Like, they kind of say it, and it's Frank sits down and talks with them numerous times and learns about them, finds out what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
But we do an event to give them their gifts.
Mm.
So what I did is I rented out Portside Pier downtown in San Diego, and I had the kids picked up in Lamborghinis and Ferraris from their houses, from Mike Saldani, from San Diego Exotic Car Rental. Picked them up from their houses, drove them down, and then switched them from the Aventador to the freaking 488 or something like that. And came, and we had our other buddy, Ethan, put them on their yacht.
Oh, wow.
And them and all their family on a yacht right there, cruised the bay. And when they came in, I had 200 of my closest friends buy a $300 ticket to come to this event. And when the kids came by, it was a huge party with the DJ, red carpet entrance. And we learned about their stories and everything. Eduardo, I sent him on a private jet with him and his girlfriend out to Vegas, toured the UFC headquarters.
Wow. And
then put him up at the Venetian, dinner show every night there. And then Eleni, gave her money for a car, sent her on a shopping spree, and sent her to Italy. And so it was actually funny. I was sitting down with Frank, gave me a call, and Frank's a sly SOB. He's like, hey, I need to take you out to lunch. I'm like, all right. He's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, Javier's.
Love Javier's.
I'm like, I know what this conversation is going to be. At the end of the conversation, he goes, so I got these 2 kids. I go, okay, Frank, you got me. I'll sponsor them. So August 10th, we're going to be hosting an event. We need a badass house. If you know of a badass house, you can hold 50 to 60 people. Red carpet entrance. We're going to pick up these 2 kids. One wants to go to Disneyland for the day. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to send them up in a limo up to Disneyland for the entire weekend, them and all their family members.
Wow.
And then the other one, he just lost his leg to cancer. And so he's really into gaming. So we're going to get him this full brand new gaming computer system, like the full rigmarole on it. And so we're going to do a red carpet entrance. We're going to have picked up again in badass cars, because who doesn't like to be riding Ferraris and Lamborghinis? Like, truly, at the end of the day, like, it's always pretty fun.
Yeah, why not?
And then we're going to, right now, we're just looking for a house to host it at. And then we're going to have tray passing and then drinks and give the kids their gift.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's got to be so rewarding. And I was part of a group called Peers for a while, which is a philanthropy-focused entrepreneur group. Mm-hmm. And we did this thing, sponsored a group called Case for Character, and it was all about foster kids. Mm-hmm. And where foster kids, I didn't know this, most people probably don't know this, is when a foster kid it gets placed in a home, and then they have to move, they give them a trash bag, and they say, fill this trash bag with whatever it is that you think is your stuff, and that's all you can take. So they put their clothes in, maybe their teddy bear, and they literally have within, sometimes it's less than 24 hours, 10 hours before they have to get moved to a new home, new family, new everything.
Oh, geez.
And so these kids are like, imagine, that's your life worth. Here's a trash bag. Put your stuff in there. You can't take your bike because it can't fit in there. It's terrible. So we sponsored this group, and it was called Case for Character. And so we donated all these suitcases, hundreds of suitcases. And we packed them up with goodie bag stuff, so that they had these, and now they have the suitcase that they can take instead of a trash bag.
Honestly, that's amazing.
And so we did that. And our goal was to get rid of all the trash bags in San Diego, completely get rid of that whole thing, and have every foster kid have a nice suitcase that they could call their own. And this is what they get, and they get to. It
gives them self-worth. It gives them some value. And not just I've helped out. I did something for the Walden, which is another adoption thing. And I mean, honestly, I think that's freaking phenomenal, man.
And literally my kids got to be a part of it, and they got to see, realize that this exists in the world. Like you're
That's
a foster
the thing.
kid.
Get your kids involved. I think is one of the best. I don't have any kids, but like honestly,
because they're so spoiled, right? They all they know, not their fault, but all they know is this house that I live in and this, this life that I've given them. And I'm glad that I could give them this life, but like to let them know that this other stuff exists and that like there's people are less fortunate, but like, we as people who have had success and have had, blessings can, it feels so good to do that. And I want to do it more. I'm so glad we met because there's stuff that I want to definitely do more with you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to.
Like, honestly, I'm down. Like, we're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it happen for sure.
Like, hands down.
I can't wait to have Ryan chasing us around with his camera.
Absolutely.
We're going to post it. We'll post it and we'll try to link it to this, but so you guys can follow us. But I don't know. I kind of want to wrap it up because I know we've gone way over, but a couple other questions, like what are your goals for the next 5 years? Do you have any like big goals? I know you've done a lot, from going from, you go big. Everything you do, you do big. So tell me what's another big goal you got?
Well, then my only goal in the next 2 years was put work aside. I got so many different work things, everything like that. I want to take my mom to Italy for a month.
Amazing.
She's never been to Europe. I want to take her on a trip to Italy. And I don't want to have to worry about money.
Just do whatever it is that you want to
do. Mom, whatever we want.
Yeah.
Whatever. We want to go rent a 100-foot yacht. Let's go do it.
It could be 50. 50's big. 100's bigger.
Yeah, but I mean, truly at the end of the day, I want to go take my mom.
That's a good goal.
On a trip. Now look, I can't even talk to my mom on the phone for 5 minutes without us fighting. So I don't know how we're going to do a month in Italy. But truly,
bring some friends. Bring a couple.
Yeah.
2 or 3 friends.
I think my main goal is strengthen my relationship with my family.
Yep.
Because I work so much, and I really need to realize like they don't get what's left of me. They need the best of me.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? Because most of the time I've noticed, and guys that I look up to, and they're like, all right, what's their family like? Their family gets what's left of them, not the best of them.
Right.
And it's something that I really learned, and I want to make sure like my family. My mom gave me the best, and she took what was left. And I want to make sure I give her the best.
Moms are so good like that. Dude, most moms. Not all moms.
Oh, and by the way, my mom's 6'1".
She is.
Yo, she got a mean backhand when she puts heels on. So I guess you could say my goals is that, and then for a work goal, I want to make Apricot Solar. I want to do more deals than Sunrun.
It's big.
It's
doable. It's big. It's a big goal.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Well, if you have the best service, you have the best price, you have all these things, then you can do it. You just got to get the word out, like what we're doing right now, getting the word out about it.
Yeah.
How does someone reach you if they want to get involved?
You can go on my Instagram, Adam_Rutz. Just slide in my DM or shoot me a text 858-977-1777. 777.
And then how do they get involved in the Apricot?
Apricot, honestly, just write me in the Instagram, or they can go ahead and write you, and you can get me connected with them at the end of the day.
Awesome.
That'd be the easiest way if anybody's listening. Write you, and you connect us.
Last thing about the market. You think we're headed into a good market as far as real estate, or do you think we're kind of in a steady, stable?
We're in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like I said, so keep it real simple. Supply, demand, 1.38 million people, 2,600 homes for sale.
If people are on the fence, sidelines, like go buy, get into the market.
It's always a good time to buy.
Yeah.
If you're renting, it is a good time to buy. You can ask any freaking person, any real estate agent, lender that's been in the market for more than 5 years, who's competent, capable, and has a good business. It is always a good time to buy. It's not always a good time to sell.
Yeah, and rent is going up.
It
so
is
if you're
going
a renter, you need to buy because your rent is not controlled. Your price, if you get a 30-year fixed, at least your mortgage is not going to change.
No, exactly. You're locking that in. But
for 10 years from now, rent's going to be so much higher.
But there's so many programs. Like truly, at the end of the day, there's so many programs. I just sat down with lender. You know Geraldine Shaw?
Yeah.
All right.
She was sitting right there.
Right. I can feel it. This is good. Honestly, Geraldine Shaw was like, "Yo, there's a assistance program where they will give you." Now the money dried up real quick. They would give you, I believe, it was 20% down payment. They would give you the down payment on a property. You buy it conventional, but that investor would have a piece of the equity in the house.
Right.
But
that still exists, actually.
Okay.
There's I think there's like 3 or 4 of them. So maybe one of them dried up.
Okay, yeah, but
but
you can buy a house. They will give you your down payment.
It's like a partner.
Yeah, and a partner on the house that you live in, and then when they sell it, they'll take their equity piece.
And there's no payment on it.
Yeah, it was. I was just like, wait, really? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, yo, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Like, where was that? Where was that call for me?
Right.
But truly, like, you don't need 20%. You can go 3.5%.
Right.
You can go 10%. You can do, there's certain things where you can do 10.1% with no PMI.
Right.
Like,
true.
Hey, if you're an entrepreneur, you bank statement loan. Like, there's also, there are so many different programs.
Right.
Did you buy a house? Buy. And if you're a real estate agent, collect all the buyers you possibly can now. Like, have a whole Rolodex of buyers right now, because second interest rates dip.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
It's going right back to 2021.
Absolutely. Any shout outs? I know you shouted out about your mom. Any other people that kind of impacted your life along the way to contribute to your success?
My mom, she's just been the pillar of my entire world. I think just the women, my mom, and then I think my assistant. Savannah Bond, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, my world would not revolve, and everyone says that about their assistants, but like, this person is like one of the most amazing people I know. She just got married to a good friend of mine, Lauren Legans, who Beverage Collective I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. But hands down, she's absolutely phenomenal. She's my ride or die at work, and like, I'm gonna have to just pay her for the rest of the life. Just, you have to stay with me, because that's just what it is. And then I would say the last person that I'd probably give it to my partner Dave Bengal over at Apricot Solar. He believed in me.
It's cool.
You believe in me, and I said, Dave, I'm not gonna let you down, and I'm gonna take this company to be a household name. And he goes, that's my goal. And I go, well,
we are aligned.
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
all right, we already talked about how they find you, and man, this has been fun. It's been great.
It's been a good time, my friend.
It's been awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, my friend.
And thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this community here, and we'll see you on the next podcast. It'll be our 100th podcast. So thanks for being a part of this, and thanks for being
Appreciate it. It was a good time.
All right. See you.
Sweet.
The $1 Million Mortgage Experience Podcast.